Hi, it's good that you can join me in my study. This week, in addition to working on the doctrine of the atonement, I've been preparing for my upcoming debate with Eric Wielenberg on the foundations of morality. Wielenberg, you may remember, is a non-theist who believes in the objectivity of moral values and duties and who grounds them in a sort of moral Platonism. In response to my criticisms of his view, Wielenberg adopts a very interesting strategy. Philosophers call this strategy Cloak Way, which is Latin for the same to you. On the playground, it would be, so's your old man. In other words, you don't answer the objection, you just throw it back in the face of your opponent and say the same to you. You've got the same problem as me. Your view is just as bad as my view. Now, the risk of this kind of a strategy is that it doesn't really answer the problem with your view. It just says that the other guy's view is as bad as yours. And if your opponent can show that his view is not really analogous to your view, then you're stuck with this unresolved problem. Moreover, this kind of a same to you response on Wielenberg's part is apt to provide aid and comfort to the other opponents against which he's arguing, namely his fellow atheists who deny the objectivity of moral values and duties. Wielenberg is engaged in a two-front war. On the one hand, he's battling against theists who affirm the objectivity of moral values and duties but ground them in God. On the other hand, he's battling against his fellow atheists who deny that there are any objective moral values and duties. And by adopting this two-cloak way strategy against the theist, he seems tacitly to admit that both his view and theism are encumbered with these unresolved problems, and that's going to make his fellow secularists who deny the objectivity of moral values and duties feel very good indeed. So I think this is a strategy that is not very well calculated to win the war for Wielenberg's godless normative realism.